I think we back. I think we back. Hold on. Let me check. Oh wait. Turn on my mobile data. There we go. There we go. I think we're back on it. That's not where we at though. Even kind of funny. We could look at kind of funny a little later on. We'll watch Tulip. We'll watch IGN. Okay, that's the other one. Check. We got that one back on. Check. We'll come back on. We'll upload it all as one episode later on. A few technical difficulties, man. My internet crapped out on me. We'll upload it all as one episode later on. A few technical difficulties, man. My internet crapped out on me. Let me turn that down. Internet crapped out on me. Damn, I can't type today. All right. Everything seems to be holding up so far. So far, I say. You know what I mean? So, he's back. Alright, we bite. We bite. Just what it is, man. So you looking at Deathloop, Forspoken, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah, Forspoken, definitely. Not fucking with Grand Theft Auto. I'm not even touching that. I'm not even touching that. I'm not even gonna get my hopes up. Deathloop looks interesting. Forspoken, and what was the other one? There was another. Oh yeah, Project Eve. Yeah, Project Eve. That's where we at. That's what I'm looking forward to. Out of what I played, that's what I'm looking at. Let me sure everything back up and running. Again, man, I appreciate everybody coming through, man, kicking it with us. Like I said, we had a few technical slips, but you know, that's how it happens. That's usually how it happens. First episode. But don't worry, because due to the magic of video editing, I'm just gonna make it like it never happened. It's just gonna come back like it never happened. So anyway, we're gonna get to these Deathloop reviews, man. Let's start with the first one. Let's start with the first. We're gonna look at see, my chat not even coming up either, but it's just stuff. You say you got rid of deleted. You say you deleted GTA off the PS4, exactly. Cause why? You know, why do I got mine, but it's like, why do I even need it? You know? Why do I even need it? Let me see where we at. There we go. I think maybe I was trying to stream to too many places. Discord, D Live, YouTube, and Facebook all at once. We could just be having some issues, but it's cool. It's cool. We back in this thing. Hold on. Oh, I can't see you no way. Anyway. Put that up. Open that back up. Alright. We still here. So let's continue. And we just gonna continue. Like I said, Deathloop's been getting a lot of 10 out of, it's been getting some 10 out of 10s today, man, and I'm just trying to see what they got to say. So let's see what they.
Come on, Cole, you gotta put this together.
I've never played a game like Deathloop before. More accurately, I've played a lot of games that are a little bit like it, Dishonored, Hitman, Outer Wilds, and even Dark Souls among them, but never anything that fits so many interesting ideas together to create something so fascinatingly unique. Its ever-repeating day,
like
doomed to loop until you can break it by murdering 8 targets, is a playground for impactful gunplay, absorbing investigation work, satisfying experimentation, and even tense multiplayer standoffs. Developer Arcane Studios' precise calibration of these pieces make Deathloop an intricately built clockwork machine that doesn't so much quietly hum, but rather confidently roars.
Confidently roars.
Your 8 targets, known as Visionaries, have taken up residence on Black Reef, a cold and grey island made appealingly vibrant by dashes of 1960s fashion, architecture and technology. Awakening every morning on its freezing shore is your protagonist Colt, a consistently amusing and understandably sweary gunslinger whose amnesia prevents him from knowing how he got here or for how long he's been looping. Surprisingly for the scenario, there's no ticking clock snapping at your heels as you try to end the cycle by taking all your targets out before the day resets and they're all resurrected. Deathloop's smartest decision is to split its day into 4 time periods: morning, noon, afternoon and evening, and you can remain in each of them for as long or as short a time as you'd like. You choose one of Black Reef's 4 unique districts to visit in each period, and you can take your time to thoroughly explore and crack some of Deathloop's most elusive optional secrets without the fear of time running out. That's not to say there aren't complications though. Your targets are spread out across those time periods and locations, so much so it's initially impossible to kill them all before the day runs out. As such, you need to herd them together so that you can murder more than one at a time. To achieve this, you must conduct an investigation into their lives and schedules that took me roughly 20 hours, uncovering Black Reef's exciting secrets and eventually concluding by orchestrating a satisfying solution that ensures every single one of them dies before midnight strikes.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh yeah.
Despite using a live-die-repeat structure, it's best to think of Deathloop as a temporal Metroidvania rather than anything close to a roguelike. Its chief currency is information. As you chase down objectives and unearth new leads, you'll discover clues that help you to unlock doors and exciting new opportunities in areas you've previously visited, both in time and space. Excitingly, the details of the 4 locations shift depending on the time you visit them. As the day goes on, the island becomes increasingly anarchic, as the residents grow rowdier and smash up furniture, graffiti walls, and even crash a car into a building. In the afternoon, a snowstorm redecorates Black Reef with a white blanket, and the evening is host to an exuberant party that dominates the Updam district. Between those big visual changes are subtle, more meaningful alterations, such as changing enemy patrols, water freezing to provide new pathways, or a secret apartment window that only opens in the afternoon. These changes help create a constant sense of discovery all throughout Deathloop's day. Once you've played through all 4 time periods, the day resets and you start again. Dying will also send you right back to breakfast time, although Colt's supernatural abilities allow him to survive death twice per time period, which prevents things from getting frustrating. Either way, each reset also strips your inventory of every weapon, power, and upgrade you've picked up, forcing you to start afresh each day. Saving you from despair is the infusion system, which allows you to permanently bind items to Colt so that they survive the loop. It requires spending Residuum, a resource found around Black Reef which is rare enough to force considered purchases, but in enough supply that each new loop will consistently bolster your arsenal. This system cleverly encourages you to vary your approach, allowing you to taste Deathloop's many flavours without committing until you're ready. Each day involves picking up a new selection of items. Trinkets, of which there are dozens, are items that allow you to make meaningful alterations to both your weapons and to Colt, such as the ability to reload in an instant or move without making noise. The loop's cycling buffet of options allows you to test and discover new equipment, which will go on to inspire your infusion choices. Over time, you'll build up a collection of your favourite items, from which you choose a loadout before heading into the next location. While you may lose equipment at the end of a run, a reset never disrupts your investigation. You hold on to every single discovery you've made so far in your quest log and intel files. This means you rarely have to repeat the same activity twice, which eliminates a frustration many other time loop games suffer from. After a heavily tutorialized introduction, the whole island and time loop is opened up to you to explore as you please, any district in any order. You are provided with starting leads for each of the 8 visionaries, which unfold as linear quest lines, but how you pursue them is entirely up to you. You could opt to tug on each new thread as you find them, hopping between leads to cover as much ground as possible in a single loop, which provides a gratifying sense of efficiency. Or you could chase down a single lead, skipping time periods and locations in dogged pursuit of a specific part of the puzzle. This remarkable freedom helps fulfill the investigator fantasy. There's a genuine sense that each choice you make helps narrow the search. Deathloop's story is told through the classic formats of audio logs, diaries, and computer messages, all of which are fantastically flavourful. If you don't fully absorb every note and connect the many dots yourself though, Colt's personal story, a fun and twisty history that intertwines with the lives of his targets and acts as Deathloop's overarching plot, might not quite come together. And without it, the short concluding chapter can feel not just abrupt, but rather thin. As much as I appreciate Arcane having confidence in us to make these connections ourselves, Colt's story feels like something that should have been served up in small milestone meals throughout the loops in a way that can't possibly be missed, rather than scattered like cookie crumbs across the world to be overlooked by those who just want to get on with the next justified murder.
Now see, that's gonna be, so how I get a 10 out of 10 then? That's 9 out of 10.
The precision engineering of this complex looping world is held in balance by Deathloop's combat system, which is a delightfully raucous affair that roars like a dragon with ballistic breath. If you prefer to go loud, you can paint the walls with the insides of Black Reef's violent thugs, using a small but well-tuned array of fantastically heavy weapons. Among the best are the Peppermill, a sputtering machine gun that feels as if it were wrenched from the undercarriage of a fighter plane, and the 4-pounder, a pistol that fires with the force of a battleship's cannon-made miniature. Despite acquiring these trusty favourites, I constantly found myself switching between the entire armoury as I planned around different tactics. If you're playing on PS5 as I did, each gun produces a different effect in the DualSense's triggers and haptic vibrations, generating a deeply enjoyable sense of force with every fight. These guns are joined by a library of slabs, which are supernatural powers stolen from the corpses of visionaries. These can be used in combination with your weapons in the environment to approach situations in your preferred manner, and all routes feel robust no matter if you choose to go loud or quiet. Pairing the teleportation slab called Shift with the invisibility of Ether, for example, allows you to zip around unseen, picking off stragglers with a silenced nail gun. The Carnesis slab, meanwhile, can be used to levitate groups and repeatedly slam them into walls until there's no life left in them.
I'm here for all of that.
The links between your weapons and powers make Deathloop's combat a hotbed for joyful experimentation. The system truly comes alive, though, when you learn how trinkets can harmonise the individual components of your loadout. The right combination can create a whole new playstyle. You might become a hands-off hacker capable of remotely locking down rooms and take out targets with gun turrets that heal you with each kill. Or perhaps a master navigator who can double jump up onto balconies and magically switch places with enemies. This all has a deck-building appeal to it, as you mix and match your inventory to craft kits tailored for delightful shootouts, sneaky infiltrations, or a hybrid of the two. Over time, you'll develop a character build refined in anticipation of the final perfect loop. Does that sound too easy? There is, of course, a catch. Doing her best to ensure you never make it as far as the final loop is Juliana Blake, the only visionary who ever takes a direct interest in Colt and operates on his level. She constantly chats with you over the radio, and your boisterous banter with her imbues this complex mechanical game with an endearingly human personality.
Colt, I want you to remember behavior.
But the biggest difference between Juliana and her peers is that where the other visionaries will only get aggressive if you invade their home turf, Juliana is a restless and free-roaming hunter. She'll seek you out and crash your investigation party, turning up like a mini-boss fight out of the blue. Juliana's enhanced aggression, resilience, and ability to disguise herself as generic enemies means she's a welcome tangent in Deathloop's predictable and repeating patterns. That's the case in single-player mode at least. Juliana serves a greater purpose, in that she can be controlled by another player who can invade your game. This twist on the PvP mechanic popularized by Dark Souls turns her into an entirely different beast. Naturally more intelligent than her AI stand-in, a real Juliana provides a more authentic sense of cat and mouse to the proceedings. This chase is a thrill, and a challenge that turns the ability to replay the loop after the credits have rolled into a much more alluring endgame scenario. Thankfully, if you detest the sound of a randomer jeopardizing your perfectly arranged kill, invaders can be entirely locked out of your game or limited to just friends with the simple flick of a menu switch. Playing as Juliana has a different rhythm. Without Cult's resurrection ability, every wrong move could be your last, and you'll need to kill your target 3 times to ensure he's dead for good. Deception becomes the key part of your toolkit. There's a quiet thrill in switching appearances with an NPC and blending in. The map knowledge you've learned over many loops helps pinpoint ambush locations in places you know Cult is likely heading to, which is a gratifying reward for mastering Deathloop's level design. PvP is by no means an essential mode, but for anyone as similarly taken by Deathloop's combat as I am, it's an opportunity to discover even more methods of creative murder.
Now I see why I
Despite
got
its seemingly endless complexities, Deathloop is one of the most confidently designed games I've ever played. Arcane Studios has crafted a world made of ideas linked by meaningful connections. Time influences space, space influences tactics, and tactics influence loadouts. Its unique, high-concept ideas around time loops and non-linear investigation work are implemented with elegance, making its systems feel effortless to navigate, learn from, and ultimately master. A new high watermark for Arcane and developers of similar games to aspire to, Deathloop is a game like no other.
I get it.
For more, be sure to read the full written review on IGN.com. You may also be interested in our interview with Deathloop's director about how Arcane designs its games.
But I haven't played it yet, so take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, I'm with that. Let's watch another one. I am with that. That means I need to get it so we can so I can stream it. And then we can talk about it live. But I am with that wholeheartedly. GameSpot, I think GameSpot gave it a 10 as well. They got an 11-minute review. Whoo-wee. That's how I know that they like those publications. That's how I know they like a game. If they spew over it for like, if it's more than a 9-minute, or no, if it's more than a 6-minute review, if it's 7, 8, 9 minutes, they like it. Cause that mean they got some glowing remarks about it. If it's like a 4 or 5 minute review, then it was just like, oh, okay, it's cool. Yeah, say I think it's a good game to talk with other people about, get the strategies together. Yeah, I like that. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of in a fun way, it just kind of like make somebody game a little harder. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of be annoying, but not really. You're not really the focus of the game. You just become like the mini boss. I think that's a pretty dope little mechanic they put in. It's like, yeah, I'm not the main boss, but I can make your game a little more difficult. You know what I'm saying? I can make your game a little more difficult. Give it a little more purpose, I guess. Yeah, that's dope. Just jump in just to be a pain in their ass, you know what I'm saying? Just to be a pain in their ass. I'll just put this mine right here to this window you got to go through that you didn't expect to be there. I fucks with that. I like that. That's a good little mechanic that they putting together. I fucks with that, man. Shout out to Arcane. They doing their thing over there. Most definitely. So let's watch another one. Let's see what GameSpot got to say.
Deathloop's Black Reef changed the way I play games and made me behave in a way that's not in my nature. The role I inhabit is that of a ghost, entering a scenario to achieve an objective and leaving with clean hands and conscience. I'm the pebble thrown into water that makes no ripples. And yet, in Deathloop, I murdered hundreds of Eternalists, and I felt good about doing it. The allure of Black Reef's daily absolution, which wipes the slate clean for each new time loop, was difficult to resist, and killing became second nature. But this leads you to ask, when nothing matters, how do you give your actions meaning? That's where developer Arcane Leon's gameplay design comes into play, and killing with abandon becomes killing for a reason, to break the loop.
Oh, what was that? What was that? That was one ridiculous nightmare.
Again, I'm here for the black people, man.
The mechanics of Deathloop are constructed so masterfully that there's a tangible sense of growth both in-game and out of it. But what's most impressive about Deathloop is that it's also an introspective game. It's Arcane deconstructing its own brand of open-ended action. The systems are presented as digestible, and the game subtly pushes you to put the pieces together so you can truly appreciate how it all ticks. It's a game where observation and dynamic thinking go hand in hand with shotgunning goons in the face, and it delivers bombastic thrills with intelligence and elegance in equal measure. At the heart of the game is Colt Vaughn, a man simultaneously adrift in time and stuck with it. He wakes up on a beach with no memory of how he got there or what's really going on. However, what distinguishes him from the other hedonistic denizens of Black Reef is that he's able to retain his memory between loops, and very soon he discovers that a strange element called residuum can be harnessed to give his arsenal of weaponry and supernatural abilities permanence too. Deathloop is a fascinating mashup of styles and vibes. Underpinning the world is a kind of retro future science that is incredibly effective at giving the world texture. Think time travel by way of 1960s computers that fill a room and look like they have less power than an original iPhone. Complementing that is an element of the supernatural that is essentially time science harnessed by a mad genius to give a chosen few the ability to do things like teleport, link the fate of other people together, or become almost invisible amongst other things. These abilities are bestowed to the Visionaries, an eclectic group of elites that the rank and file are sworn to protect so that their life of indulgence can remain eternal. Colt's goal is to kill these Visionaries, and in doing so break the time loop. The rub is that it needs to be done in one day, a single loop. Easier said than done, given that the game operates on a night and day cycle, where over the course of the loop, each Visionary has their own routine and life to lead. Complicating matters further is the fact that the Visionaries know Colt is out to get them, and in fact, all of them have some sort of pre-existing relationship with him.
Welcome to the Ramblin' Rock Club. Let's see them big spanking hands, Colt. No re-rolls in my house.
One in particular, Juliana, takes it upon herself to be the thorn in Colt's side. She serves the role of antagonist, but the situation is clearly complicated between them. Their interpersonal dynamic is placed front and center to drive much of the narrative and characterization, and both characters are realized exceptionally well. Juliana is the voice in Colt's ear and also over Black Reef's loudspeakers, and she does her damnedest to get under his skin. She picks at him in a way that only someone with a deep personal connection to you can, using insight into his personality and history to constantly undermine him and poke at his neuroses. And yet, there's also a sweetness to their interactions at times, like a couple in the heat of an argument, remembering for just a moment why they care about each other. In a very real sense, Juliana is a pure agent of chaos. It's worth pointing out that the voice acting is absolutely crucial to selling this relationship, and in that regard, it's achieved exceptionally well.
I'm done playing this your way. It's the Colt show from now on.
Okay, all aboard, sweetie. Choo-choo.
I said Colt show, not Colt.
For his part, Colt eventually engages her in the verbal joust and starts getting under her skin. The constant back and forth between the two is a genuine joy to listen to, and the writing is sharp to make the development of their relationship feel natural. Black Reef is split up into multiple districts, and each one is usually home to at least one of the Visionaries. Colt's objective is to enter an area, figure out how to get himself into a position where he can kill said Visionary and take their slab, an item that gives them one of 6 unique supernatural abilities. But each of the Visionaries is a weirdo. Charlie, for example, has set up a low-budget escape room. Harriet is hosting a group of wellness sessions that is as sinister as it sounds, while Wenji rarely ever leaves her lab. Deathloop's day and night cycle also means that these Visionaries are only available at certain times of the day. Although you can manually progress time to your needs, there's only ever a specific window of opportunity to kill a Visionary. That means you need to play through time loops repeatedly, puzzling out a plan to execute it when a time is right. The game makes this more manageable by giving the player visionary leads to follow. You may need the code to a door in one area, for example, but a ledger with that information is being stored in an office elsewhere, so you also kinda get a tour of Black Reef. Through this, you're slowly trained to develop a meticulous understanding of each area in the game, and as your cult grows in strength and capabilities, so too does your proficiency in navigating them. After killing a visionary, you gain a power, which can be used in the following time loops, provided you invest Residium into them. Residium can be extracted from charged objects in the environment or from the dead body of a visionary. Spending this resource allows you to hold on to tools between loops. Slab powers are the most essential as they give you a significant ability, and killing a visionary repeatedly to take their slab will evolve the power. The shift power, for example, lets you teleport much like Dishonored's Blink, but repeatedly killing the visionary wielding it and collecting it will allow you to upgrade the power to let you swap places with an enemy. Trinkets are also littered throughout the world. Weapon trinkets can be used to augment your combat abilities, while personal trinkets enhance Cult's physical performance. The presence of these is what makes each time loop consistently rewarding to play through. Sometimes it can be good to do a run through an area or even an entire loop to build your Residium balance and collect some more trinkets, especially since it's also an opportunity to refine your chosen playstyle a bit more. And since Cult is able to come back from death twice, there is a degree of forgiveness in the game that really encourages you to do wacky things when the opportunity arises. That third death, however, will reset the time loop entirely, so some strategy is also required if you want to make the most of your time. The repetition-based design of Deathloop eases you into creating a flow state that you can enter into and exit from at will. With the character development system, it gamifies trial and error so effectively that failures almost always still feel like small triumphs. This might sound typical of a roguelike game, but Deathloop's gameplay feels entirely of its own brand, and that's because it's built on the foundation of Arcane's domino effect design. That is especially apparent as you uncover dead ends. Documents peppered around the world will provide a small lead on something, which is then marked as a discovery, and the game does an excellent job of creating a breadcrumb trail around Black Reef for you to follow, and it always leads to something meaningful, whether it's finding
I like games with like a lot of layers to it like that. I don't know if everybody else can't play that type of stuff. Like
you're never more than a
lot of people just want to shoot, kill.
In many regards, Deathloop is a game about being.
They don't really care about the nuance about why you doing what you're doing.
In making the act of just being in the world, looking around, and
that's why y'all get people. Okay, so what is this game about? It's like, man, it's a lot to it. Like you gotta play it to like kind of get an idea.
Of art direction that the studio's previous games have had. Each of the 4 areas of the game has a distinct style, which changes depending on the time of day thanks to lighting and even weather effects. Of particular note are the 60s-esque interiors that are somehow both beautiful and utterly garish in a way that only retro furniture can be. Wooden walls, shocking red pleather couches that look like they would make your arse numb after a minute of sitting on them, and oddly contorted lighting fixtures will stop you in your tracks so you can ogle at how odd they are. But they also fit into the aesthetic so perfectly that you can't help but be impressed by the interior design chops being displayed. Needless to say, Arcane's sense of art direction remains impeccable, and for my money, unmatched. And complementing it is the raucous soundtrack that is as eclectic and as unexpected as the visual stylings. Continuing the mashup of styles and themes, Deathloop transitions effortlessly between disparate styles to suit the needs of the moment from a cinematic standpoint, but also has you tapping your feet along to the chaos happening on screen. Deathloop's gunplay is weighty and satisfying, and a great deal of the thrill that comes from trading lead is elevated by the brilliant, funky soundtrack. The final piece to Deathloop's gameplay puzzle is multiplayer, which manifests itself in 2 distinct ways. The first is technically not multiplayer, as it sees an AI-controlled Juliana invade Cult's game to try and assassinate him. At random points, the game announces that Juliana has invaded and lock the exit points out of the area. The only way to get out is hack a specific point to unlock the exit tunnels. But to do that, you usually have to go through her. These moments are genuinely terrifying, especially when you're on a good run. Juliana is capable of masking her appearance to look like any random Eternalist, so she could really be anywhere and anyone. Of course, a human player, someone on your friends list, a random person on the internet, or even you, can choose to protect the loop by assuming the role of Juliana. As the hunter, you invade Cult's world to kill him, and the ability to mimic NPCs is unique to Juliana and extremely versatile. especially if you have a good understanding of the world. The sense of tension this introduces to gameplay is exhilarating, as you never know when a Juliana could appear to turn your world upside down. It harkens back to the kind of hide-and-seek multiplayer introduced in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and the PvP of the Soulsborne games, and it works really well within Deathloop. Of course, you can opt not to allow people to invade you too if you'd prefer a purely single-player experience.
That's funny. That's funny because some people just don't be done got good at that shit.
Perhaps the most laudable part of Deathloop is how it takes so many seemingly disparate things and creates harmony between them. Gameplay systems that feel isolated become pieces of a bigger puzzle, and when you see how they seamlessly connect together, you realize just how special of an achievement it really is. Similarly, on paper, the different aesthetics should be like oil and water, but they come together effortlessly to be part of a greater whole.
That shit don't even
And
go
for me,
together.
that's what Deathloop is really about. By standing back and looking at the bigger picture, the uncharacteristic choices and the unexpected behaviors feel necessary, essential even. Maybe it's just what I need to believe to give all that killing meaning, but when I began the final loop and carved a perfect, bloody path through Black Reef's visionaries in a single day, I made no ripples.
That's 2 for 2.
Juliana.
That's 2 10 out of 10.
Juliana. I remember your name.
That is 2 for 2. Them boys shooting 2 for 2, 10 for 10s. They can't possibly go 3 for 3, right? So we're gonna watch another one in a minute. But them boys is 2 for 2. If somebody else give it a 10 for 10, then that means we probably be buying this soon. I'm trying to wait till Battlefield, man. But this might be a good single player for the PlayStation. You know, if it gets another one, like, man, that's crazy. They get that shit a 10 out of 10. That is amazing. Again, everybody who's checking in, man, on YouTube, Facebook, gaming, and D Live, man, y'all think y'all appreciate y'all coming in, just hanging out with us for a minute. Like I said, we watched the PlayStation showcase a little earlier. Talked about our, you know, what we're hyped for. Of course, I was hyped for pretty much everything they showed near the end. I guess the top 5 from that particular showcase: Project Eve, Spider-Man 2, God of War. I'ma say Gran Turismo 7. I don't know if it's 7 or 8. I don't know. Gran Turismo and Deathloop. I guess, you know what I'm saying. Deathloop. That pretty much was the top 5 out of all of that. Honorable mentions to Wonderlands. Honorable mention to take out Deathloop. Forspoken. Those 5 games were probably the top 5 out of that showcase that I was really hyped for. I meant to say that earlier, but we ran into internet problems, and they pretty much just clipped the earlier part of my stream. But those top 5 from that showcase are pretty much what I'm waiting on. Like, they can have my money now. Like, here you go. But again, luckily those come out next year. They come out next year, and it's gonna be a busy February. It's gonna be a busy February because Elden Ring drops, Sifu drops. That's SIFU. There's a couple more games I have to look at. Far Cry 6 drops in February. You know, they got a lot of. It's some. I think Horizon Forbidden West drops in February. Like, it's gonna be a busy early next year. So, listen. I'm not finna even hold y'all, man. My bank account is gonna be trash. No, I'm not gonna say that. I just need to make some more money doing something. So again, y'all tap in with us, man. Again, this is how, and you know how y'all help us be able to afford those games. Y'all checking in with us. Y'all hit us up with the subs on Twitch. Y'all donate, you know, to the Honey Hands Project, and if y'all do that, y'all get some free music out of it. But yeah, just continue to donate, check out the help the project, send those shares and retweets, and and invite people to the Discord and things like that. Because again, this is pretty much my job now. It's full-time content creation, freelance graphic designer. Y'all send some clients my way if y'all need some flyers made, whatever. But anything so we can afford this software down the line, because my goodness, they trying to kill my bank account, man. I'm trying to move soon. I'm trying to move soon, man, and they killing my pockets, man. Like, come on, bro. But anyway, we're gonna watch one more. We're gonna watch one more of these reviews. We're gonna watch a Game Informer one. How long is this one? That's 5 minutes. I need to watch one that's a little long, man. That's 5. How long was this? This one 13. ACG got a 21. Whew, 20 minutes. Don't want to hear somebody talk about it that long. Easy Allies has an 8-minute one. What time are we at? What are we looking at as far as our time? We are currently at 36 minutes. Everything's running smooth so far. Again, y'all check in with Stream Raiders, man. Y'all hit us up, drop your units in before we start the battle. Also, I have an announcement about the other piece of news we were going to talk about. This CNBC just reported that the LiteCoin Walmart merger or partnership or deal was fake. I don't know how that happened, so I guess we're not really going to talk about it that much since it was fake. So whatever. That's crazy. Let's watch another one of these. We had 37 minutes. Let's watch the 10-minute one. No. Yeah, there we go. What is this one? It's a 13-minute one. That'll put us right at 50. We get to an hour, then we'll be good. It looks good. Like I can definitely say that, man. Again, shout out to IGN, GameSpot, and Gaming Bolts. We've been watching their reviews right now.
Deathloop
until we
is
make our own
repeat
review
with a swinging 60s aesthetic and music evocative of a James Bond caper. A bit of Connery and a bit of Craig.
We'll probably add that to our
perfect mass
our format, our new high noon
that
format.
call the Hitman series to mind, except
Do
with
like
7
early
targets,
Monday
over 4
reviews or
districts,
something
and
that we
potentially
played.
dozens of soon-to-be-dead NPCs. It weaves invasion-style PvP
Yeah,
and
my thoughts
roguelike
on it.
mechanics into a sandbox-style gameplay that Arcane
But
is
that
known
means y'all
for,
got to
while
play some of
presenting
this
a
stuff
story
too,
that's
man.
several parts compelling and plotting.
That means y'all got to play
It's
some of
fun,
this stuff
but
too,
faces
so we
some
can have
issues in
something
the
to talk
technical
about.
and mission
Y'all
design
can join the
department
Discord,
that can be hilarious at times and
and then we can all
downright
just talk about it
annoying at
together.
others. As you've probably guessed by all of the trailers released till now, Deathloop is about Colt. He's stuck on Black Reef Island, which is host to the loop, causing the same day to repeat again and again.
Colt Vaughn.
Through a series of twists and turns, Colt learns that he needs to kill the Visionaries to collapse the loop and break free. Unfortunately, the mysterious and sadistic Juliana Blake stalks him at every turn, waiting to pounce and send him back to the beginning until she gets bored. And spoilers, she doesn't. There are also the Eternalists, NPCs serving under the Visionaries who are out to kill Colt when they're not partying, meandering about, or having existential crises. A single loop comprises 4 times of day: morning, noon, afternoon, and evening. And you can visit one of the 4 districts: the Complex, Fristad Rock, Carl's Bay, and Updam, during these specific windows. The catch is that you can only visit one of these districts at a specific time of day. Leaving the district causes time to move forward, though you can manually progress it from the planning screen as well. You'll start by working through the list of Visionaries, taking them out one by one and obtaining their slabs, along with higher tier weapons and trinkets to augment your arsenal. And each has their own unique setup and mechanics at play. I won't spoil anything, but working out everything and going from
Again, they're 2
brute-forcing
for
certain
2
scenarios
as far
to
as their review. They're
assassinating
10
and
for
vanishing
10.
like a ghost as you learn more
10
about
to
each
2,
map
10
is
out
cool.
of 10 reviews.
One of the nicer things about Deathloop is that it accommodates both loud and
Now,
stealthy
be it that
playstyles
these
as
are
well.
like major
The more
publications,
creative types of
I
players
take
will
them with a
find
grain
plenty
of
to
salt.
lean into, and thanks
Not
to the
saying that
Reprise
they're
slab,
paid
which provides
reviews or
extra
nothing like
lives
that,
within a
but,
district that are refreshed
you
on
know,
leaving, there's enough room for error.
they're gonna give certain games.
But taking out
higher,
one visionary per
higher
time of day
grades than
is
others.
not going to help you break the loop.
But like I said,
Making
yeah, I don't know.
discoveries,
I can't really
usually
argue
by
with a 10 out of 10
eavesdropping
because
on
even if it's a
conversations,
10 out of 10 to
listening to
them,
audio
that means it's still
recordings,
gonna be
and
like an
reading
8 to 9
documents
to the
provide
common
different
person.
leads. These leads are your
I just know
de
a lot
facto
of people,
quest chains,
especially
following
people
them
I know
can allow
that
for
play video
scenarios
games or
where
that just
more
stop
than one
playing video
visionary is
games.
present in a
They don't
location
really
at a
have the
given time.
time to dig into
This
all these
ultimately
layers.
culminates in eliminating all of the visionaries in one single loop, since it resets
Like,
if there's even
people
one
don't be knowing
alive.
what's going on. They just want to
Juliana
kill.
isn't going to sit back and let you, though, so you have to contend with her as well. Discoveries can also lead to different
Like, I
side
like shit
activities
like
with
this.
trinkets and unique weapons as rewards, along with providing alternative ways to eliminate certain visionaries without much hassle. To stand a fighting chance, you'll need to
We'll
collect
do
weapons,
we'll do our own
slabs,
review
which confer different abilities,
once
and
I
trinkets
play
for
it.
various passive bonuses. Both weapons and trinkets have different rarities, while each slab has multiple upgrades. Ether is your standard cloaking ability that can be upgraded so it doesn't drain power while moving. Havoc, which makes you invulnerable, can regenerate power as you damage enemies. Various unique weapons can also be earned by completing different trials and side activities or as drops from killing Juliana. Take the Rapier. It's a single-shot weapon for mid to long-range combat. You can locate higher rarities that provide greater zoom distance or even explosive shots which do extensive damage. The Sepultura Bratira sniper rifle has a unique variant that deals damage over time with its shots. Body shotting an enemy and watching them walk a short distance before suddenly dying is as fun as it sounds. Synergize this with something like Nexus, which links enemies together like Dishonored 2's Domino, or casually snipe away at enemies in stealth with Ether without moving. Trinkets also help in the build variety, offering benefits like melee damage granting health, increased power, reduced damage depending on the number of surrounding enemies, and much more. Weapons also have trinkets for increased magazine size, increased range, and so on, which also provides some nice customization that you can't swap up scopes, barrels, and so on. Thanks to some generous aim assist and various customizable settings, gunplay feels pretty good. Of course, both the response from the PS5's DualSense controller, whose haptic feedback is especially great when traversing different kinds of terrain, and the general shooting mechanics help as well. Melee combat can be a bit finicky, especially if your opponents are dodging, but at least the assassinations feel visceral and responsive enough. It's worth mentioning that anything picked up is lost when a loop ends. Counteracting this requires the infusion of Residium. Infusing an item with it will make that available in future playthroughs. You'll eventually settle on some fun weapons for each situation, but if you make efficient use of each time period, you could harvest enough Residium for carrying over a multitude of slab upgrades, trinkets, and more. The game is fairly quick to dole out high rarity items, especially if you're killing multiple visionaries in a loop and racking up loop stress, which increases the drop chance of items but makes enemies tougher. And it doesn't take long before Residium starts to feel a bit redundant for some things. It's nice to have, don't get me wrong, but it would have been even nicer to have other stuff to spend Residium on. You'll happen upon a device that doles out trinkets, but it uses a tool for suctioning up nearby Residium instead of what you're currently carrying, and requires a hefty amount for anything of note.
Okay.
For all that's good with Deathloop, there are a fair number of things that drag the experience down. The story starts pretty strong, and you're excited
might
to
have
see
our
what
first
Black Reef
8
has
out
to
of
offer.
10.
However, as you experience each district again and again, even across
might
different
have our
times of
first
day,
8.
familiarity begins to settle in a little too quickly, and the pacing suffers. While the leads help in pointing you towards new objectives and places to explore, it's very easy to devolve into simply going from point A to point B and then leaving, then moving forward to the next time of day and repeating the process. Better objective variety could have helped in this regard. As such, it toes the line of acceptable padding and sheer fetch questing when asking you to power a different door in each district and then visiting those doors over subsequent times of day to receive different passwords for opening one big door. It outright obliterates it upon asking you to find different pictograms littered in a compound as you run from corner to corner finding false paintings, combing over every wall, and slowly losing your mind. Enemy variety could have also livened things up. Having high loop stress, making it that much riskier and dangerous to go loud is fine, but facing the same types of Eternalists again and again, or having to disable the same turrets again and again, started to wear on me. It also doesn't help that enemies can be pretty dumb at times. I can handle Eternalists knowing exactly where I am, despite eliminating their friends with a silenced pistol from the rafters while cloaked in ether. It's stupid, yes, but fair enough. Watching them stand around with no reaction even as their friend dies simply because their back was turned stretches my suspension of disbelief. Seeing enemies become absolutely befuddled when I go invisible, uncloak, and then go invisible again to their befuddlement while standing right in front of them is just terrible. Ditto for when an enemy spots Colt and a few seconds later asks whether it's Colt that's hunting them.
Oh yeah, this definitely
Presentation-wise, there is a lot to like about Deathloop. Cutscenes consist of stylish animations, evoking the panache of a spy film. The music by Sensit is inspired by the classic Bond films, but isn't beholden to them, with a contemporary touch in its jazz arrangements that works in both downbeat and action-heavy situations. Visually, the aesthetic is more stylistic than photorealistic, but you'll still notice some great lighting work and effects, not to mention the stellar environments, though some shimmering could sometimes be seen in places with lots of water. Each of the 4 districts is laden with strong attention to detail, from the complex's shadowy corners and imposing machinery, which turns into a mind-laden field in the evening when dealing with Igor, to the happening streets of Updam, where the graffiti and unkept areas around the library clashes with Alexi's imposing manner. You'll mostly get to know the Visionaries and their backstories through minicom messages, documents, and audio recordings. There's only so much conversation that happens when you're trying to murder them. The voice acting is well done overall, but it's Jason Kelly as Colt and Ozuyama Akaga as Juliana who steals the show. Kelly's range as Colt is great, seamlessly transitioning from unenthused and frustrated to cracking a bad joke. As Juliana, Akaga does a great job balancing wry wit and humor with bloodlust and careless joy. The dynamic between the two mostly plays out over radio conversations.
Y'all got to get this, man, so I can invade y'all games and make y'all life hard.
After a point. On the technical side of things, the game runs well enough. I played on performance mode, which offers dynamic 4K scaling without ray tracing, and the frame rate was fairly solid at 60 FPS, though some drops could be noticed every now and then. Oddly enough, the opening cutscene at the start of each new loop runs in 30 FPS, and along with the animated cutscenes, suffers from copious amounts of screen tearing. There are also some other bugs and glitches that pop up on occasion, like enemies clipping into objects or falling through the floor into oblivion. At one point, the game froze, forcing a closure, but thankfully that wasn't a reoccurring issue. Juliana's implementation in the game is unique in both interesting and confusing ways. When solo and in a district with a target, she'll invade your game, sealing off the exits and actively hunt you. Taking her down nets a hefty amount of Residium, a higher tier weapon, and some trinkets. If you manage to avoid her and hack the respective antenna, then it's possible to escape. Then again, given how it's more practical to kill Juliana and resume hunting a target, the option feels somewhat redundant. The enemy AI also leaves much to be desired here. Most times Juliana would simply rush to wherever I was instead of, say, camping the antenna or the target. While there is some challenge to be had in fighting her, especially when she uses Havoc and becomes invulnerable, her threat feels more like a mild inconvenience at times. Playing online against a player-controlled Juliana feels way more exhilarating. You're suddenly checking corners carefully, traversing rooftops to get a better viewpoint, and thinking of places you could be ambushed from. Controlling Juliana can also be nice, since you're leveraging surrounding enemies to spot Colt and either get the drop on him or prevent his escape. The Masquerade ability is nifty in that sense, since it allows for exchanging her appearance with a random NPC, though I didn't find it super practical in most cases. As you complete different challenges with Juliana, you rank up and unlock more slabs and weapons. But aside from one interesting bit at the start, there isn't much by way of story content. In effect, she serves as a nice way to test out a range of different weapons that are unlocked naturally, like a unique SMG that transforms into dual pistols, instead of worrying about Residium and Infusion, and probably engage in some light PvP on the side. But her progression does create an issue in terms of balance, at least initially. Anyone who spent a couple of hours playing with Colt will have more than enough means to fend off a Juliana player, who needs to complete specific tasks, which aren't too tough, but still, to rank up and gain more options, and she doesn't have outright freedom in choosing what to unlock. Weirdly enough, despite Juliana's model holding a Sepultura Bratira sniper in the loading screen, she doesn't get one from the start. Maybe it would have made things too easy for more skilled invaders, but given the lack of extra lives, she needs a bit more of an edge early on. Of course, the real question is whether adding PvP was necessary at all, given how much of the story focuses on Colt. With how well Akaga portrays her, I would have preferred seeing more unique, shorter story missions featuring Juliana. Deathloop is many things, combining multiple systems and mechanics into one experience with a stylish aesthetic and intriguing narrative.
Yeah.
It's fun overall and has a good level of polish.
Got the
narrative
first
focus is
7.
more uneven compared to Arcane's previous works.
Got the first
and it just
7.
isn't as well-rounded in certain areas. If you're seeking a unique title with different playstyles that all feel satisfying, find the presentation and characters appealing, or like the sound of a time-looping approach to planning a grand assassination, then
So who's
Deathloop
telling
is
the
at
truth?
least worth checking out at some point.
The 7.
So, what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them in the
7s or the
comments below.
10s?
And if you liked this video, please
Because
subscribe to the channel and enable all notifications
again,
by clicking the bell
a
icon
10
to get
might
new
be
video
more of a
updates. We upload
8,
every
9
day
in
and would really
reality.
appreciate your support.
Because they saying
Thanks
10.
for watching.
Okay, hold on. This is my thing. If you're gonna give it a 10, it's got to be flawless. Okay, a masterpiece, flawless. You can't just really, really like it and then give it a 10. Really, really liking it is 8, 9. You know, it has some things that you don't really like about it. You know what I'm saying? They gave it two people, 2 publications, 2 big publications gave it a 10. But then we come to a smaller publication and it's like they was a little more realistic and they gave it a 7. Now, do I think it deserves a 7 from what I'm looking at it? No, it's probably still more of an 8. I still probably would have gave it an 8. You know what I'm saying? From what I'm looking at, it looks 8-ish. But even with it not being your thing and all of that, a 7's not bad either. So 10s, I just don't know, man. I just don't know about no 10s, man. I don't know about no 10s. They could have said 9s and it'd have been a little more believable. But a lot of these reviews contradict themselves. And so they're going to give it a 10, but then they're going, well, this didn't really pan out. I didn't really like this part. But it's like, well, it's not a 10. A 10 is, I like everything. I like the presentation. I like the music. I like the art style. I like the gameplay. It runs flawlessly, no bugs. Like, that's what I'm thinking about when you say a 10. So when is a 10 really a 10? You know, like I don't understand how they just give these games 10s and then talk about, well, this is flawed. The end of it is kind of thin. Okay, the narrative in the end is it's not a 10 then. A 9 is good. Just give it a 9. And I don't think that's fair because that blows up a lot of games that probably don't really deserve to be 10s. You know, like I done played some games that they said were 10s and I was like, even if it's my style, it's like, I don't know if this is a complete, like, just home run out the park. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I don't know. What y'all think? When is a 10 really a 10? You know, what are some games to you that are truly a 10s? What's some games that you played that people said were 10s that were really 10s? God of War 2018 was a 10 to me. That game got 9s. Like, that game got 9s and stuff like that. And it's like, okay. The Witcher 3 got a 10. That's probably one of the ones that deserved a 10. But if you don't like that kind of game, it'd probably be an 8 or 9. You know, I just want to know, what are y'all's games that you've seen get reviewed and be a 10? We could talk about them at another time. That's a topic for another day. When is a 10 really a 10? You know what I'm saying? If anybody in the SOS Discord, man, y'all please go to y'all come join us. Y'all hit us up. We'll be in the we got a channel called The Final Score Of, where we just talk about, you know, final ratings of games. What would you give a game or whatever? Y'all come through, hang out, tell us what y'all feel. Again, I'm gonna ask that question: when is a 10 really a 10, and what is a 10 in your book? Cause that's wild, man. Let me see. Just say I'm gonna give God of War and Horizon 10s. I can see that. I can see that. I can see, especially God of War. God of War, Spider-Man. God of War and Spider-Man and The Witcher 3 are games that got 10s or like 9s that I can see, that I can justify. I'd be like, all right, yeah. You can't really argue with those. You can't really argue with those. You know, even Horizon, I don't know what they got. Let's see what Horizon got on Metacritic. Cause Horizon, it got a little tedious, like trying to get from place to place. Even if it's not a 10 to me, it still got a 9. It still was 8, 9, high 8.5, 9 worthy. So it still was up there, you know. But they giving Deathloop 10s like 10, and then you get this honest review and it's like, it's a 7. You know what I'm saying? So who's really telling the truth here? Let's see what Horizon Zero Dawn got on Metacritic. Cause I don't know, man. It's got an 89. Its average score is an 8.4. I think that's a little low, but you know, we talking about all the reviews together. You know, all the reviews together, and an 89 out of all of those, that's still pretty. You might well say that's a 90. You know, that's still pretty high. That's a 9 out of 10 still. So that's pretty well deserved. I can agree with that. That's pretty 9. Yeah, Spider-Man 2. Yep, like it got a little, like say, redundant at that. You know, it's like, all right, just go here, beat up some guys, and that's it. You know, so a lot of these games that they give in 10s really just be high 8s and 9s. So again, The Witcher 3 to me was probably one of the 10 out of 10s that I can't really argue with, but that's because I like the style of game it was. It had a good story. It had a lot of content to it. It had some twists, some turns. The gameplay was good. It had layers to it. You know, it probably was a 9. You know, it probably was a 10 for me. But even with it being a 10 for me, it probably was an 8, 9 for other people. It's a good, really good game. So it's very, very few games that just deserve a straight 10 out of 10. So when I see stuff like, you know, IGN or, you know, these other publications giving the game 10, I just be wanting to see. And again, all of this is my opinion because I haven't played Deathloop. So until I play it, I can't give you my full honest review. But I just don't see a flat out 10. I don't. I just don't. God of War definitely. God of War probably don't have. I can think of the faults of God of War. You know, I can think of the faults of God of War, but the faults are just completely overshadowed by what was good. So if somebody gave God of War 10, I don't have no argument with it. Ghost of Tsushima, if somebody was to give it a 10, even with because it suffers from the same thing The Witcher suffers from. It suffers from the same thing Horizon, like just that traveling and going from point to point, and the story just kind of, the missions just kind of all start being the same. It's got the same problems. I don't care. 9 and up for Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, go 9 and up. Like I can't really argue with it. The multiplayer mode, okay, Legends was good. The combat was good. The art, all that, the sound, all of that shit just overshadowed my gripes about it. So when is a 10 really a 10? Like, I want to know. I'm gonna look into that. That's gonna be my research. I'm gonna look and see what games got 10s that I can agree or we can agree that are just solid 10s. When I hear 10, I mean like this shit ain't got nothing wrong with it. Nothing. Like not a thing. They don't have no glitches. You know, the multiplayer works, the online works, the sound, the story, everything is perfect. Okay, everything hits on all cylinders. And some of these games, it's like, I don't know, man. Now you could have gave it a 9 or 9.5 or 8.5, and that'd have been more realistic as far as like reality. You know, just because you really like a game, I don't see that. Just because you really like the developer or whatever the case may be, I don't think they deserve no 10. You know, some games, God of War, The Witcher, they deserve 10s. Like, people gave Breath of the Wild a 10. And it's got the same problems as all those other games. It's just that traversal. Like, if you can make that in any game is gonna knock it off. Because I just hate riding horses. I hate riding horses. I hate I hate it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, sure, you get to see the world and all of that, and you get the experience with Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption 2. And those are some got high marks. I hated going from point to point. I hated how tedious it was walking around, having to pick up every little thing. I hated that. But the game still got a 9. It's at least 9 worthy. You know what I'm saying? So, what games do y'all think? You know what I'm saying? Got just straight 10s. Like, you don't see nothing wrong with them. So far, I only got 2 of them. Even The Witcher. The Witcher got 10s and it was buggy. It had glitches. You know, it had all kind of glitches. The characters be walking around all weird. The enemies would hit you and you can't dodge it. It had its faults too. You know? Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You said Red Dead was a 10. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? That was another good one. That was up there for me. I could see why people would give it 9s and, stuff like that. Because I gave it like a 9. Because I said just little stuff was tedious. But the story, man. The story. And when you really got into it, like as far as like what was how to play it, you understood why it was so tedious. You understood why it was so realistic. You know what I'm saying? You understood it. So you just fit. It just fit. So a 10, that's another one that was up there for me. Definitely. So we're gonna look into that. This, as far as Deathloop, I don't know about 10s out of 10s. Just on first glance. Again, we'll have to play it to see what we get, but I don't see 10s out of 10. Not for that. A good solid 8, 8.5, maybe a 9. I'm all for it. But they just giving it flat out 10s. It's like, my goodness. So I appreciate reviews like this. I want to do reviews like this. Just real reviews. Like, you talk about the game. A 7, and anybody watching this, 7s are not bad. 7s are not bad. 6s ain't even that bad, depending on the kind of game. Some 6s are fun, like, but 7, 8, 9, those are good games. 7s, I'm probably not gonna rush out to get, but 8s, 9s, I'm probably got pre-orders or they, something like that. So, yeah, man, we're gonna talk a little bit about that because I don't know about 10s. I don't know. That's just me. 10s seem a little far-fetched. That's just a tad bit far-fetched. But yeah. What we got on deck, man? We'll read some more reviews. That's what I'll do today. I'm not gonna read I'm not even gonna look at Madden. I would look at Madden because I don't want to pick on Madden because I know how people who like Madden get, so I don't want to pick on Madden. But Deathloop seems to be on the board. We're gonna read some more reviews. I'm gonna post them in the Discord so we can just discuss them, but we're definitely going to look over what is a 10. Your top 3 games that were 10 out of 10s. Because I don't know if you got 5s. You might have 5. If you've been playing video games for a while, you might have 5, 10 out of 10s. So I'll say 5. Like I said, we just named 3. 10 out of 10s right here. For me and just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know we just named 3. So we can think of some more. Y'all put them in the Discord and we'll discuss it next go around. What we sitting at? We sitting at an hour yet? Oh man, we knocked off an hour. We almost knocked off 2 hours. Hopefully we put these, we're gonna edit these videos, put them together, and we'll make an hour. You know, and then we'll just post it up as one long video. But we were gonna talk about the Walmart LiteCoin deal, but I've just come to discover, all from through CNBC, that was false, that it was fake. Let me see if I can find an official statement. Who's texting me? What do you want? They need to bring my bag. So we got an hour here, and then we got 48 minutes on the first go round. So about 2 hours. We doing good. We doing good. Let's go to CNBC, because that's where I saw the posts. I thought that was interesting. Like, how do you fake a crypto announcement 4 hours ago, 2 hours ago? Let's go to the most recent one. Well, let's go to the CNBC, because that was just another one. Customers at Walmart cryptocurrency LiteCoin gave up a 20% gain and tumbled back to earth following a fake press release sent out by Globe Newswire that referenced a partnership with Walmart. Walmart spokesman Randy Hargrove confirmed the press release is not authentic. And he also said the retailer has been in touch with the Newswire company to investigate how the false press release got posted. Globe Newswire is owned by Telecom. Okay, I don't want to hear about all that shit. The news release said that Walmart, the biggest retailer in the U.S., would accept cryptocurrency for payments from shoppers using LiteCoin. It referenced a non-working their website wasn't even working. Referenced a non-working website in the email of one of the contacts listed, raising suspicions. The release was never listed on Walmart's official corporate website and has been removed from the Globe Newswire website. What kind of shit is that? Why? How did that even get posted? How did that even get posted? Like, what? What the hell? Man, for anybody that's in cryptocurrency or not, it's just bad press either way you look at it. It's bad press. Like, I don't see how y'all jump on that, and then it'd be a fake. They had a 20% gain, and then that shit went right back down. Lord have mercy. So I need to check my stocks again, because I own a little LiteCoin, but that probably just hurt it a bit. I don't even know what LiteCoin goes to. I just bought it because I'm trying to invest, trying to take some risk and invest in some new stuff, man. But yep, that was completely fake. So there's really nothing to talk about. It's just they went up a little bit, and now they're back down. Them and Walmart took a hit as far as their stocks. I'll be down. Lord have mercy. What else is in the news today, man? The VMAs were yesterday. Oh yeah, I forgot about those. The VMAs. What's going on with those? Did anybody watch those? Oh yeah, I saw something on Twitter today. Conor McGregor and Machine Gun Kelly, you know what I'm saying, acting ghetto, you know, acting real hood outside, you know, like they ain't got acting like Neanderthals, you know, outside throwing drinks at each other and all. Like, well, what? So I don't know what that is. Little white boy beef. Who knows what it's about, man? You know, neither one of them gonna do anything. They're too famous. McGregor probably would wash Machine Gun Kelly, but the way Conor McGregor been losing lately, he might not win either. So I don't really know which way to slice that one. You know what I'm saying? He just broke his leg just standing up one time. I think he got punched in the face and then broke his leg. Don't ask me how that happened. But yeah, anyway. Nobody cares. I don't care enough to really talk about altercation. They denied altercation. You threw a drink at the man. I saw it. You threw a drink at the man. That's not nothing. You can't. That's not an altercation that you can deny. You throw a drink at somebody. That was an altercation. So you can deny it all you want, man. But anyway, I just know if somebody would punched you in the face, you'd have been trying to sue. So, whatever. Of course, Lil Nas X is making everybody mad again. I don't know why y'all let him get under your skin like that, but, you know, y'all bored, ain't got nothing to do. And, yeah, Normani and Tiana Taylor were on stage gyrating on each other. And that's always a good time. That's always a good time. Everybody wants to see that, right? I saw a post of Saweetie and somebody talking. I don't know if that was Tiana Taylor. And it was like when the yams and the greens touch, and that was funny. That was funny. Cause it did look a little intimate. It looked a little intimate. It looked sexy. I will say that. Be it that it's Monday. It ain't really a whole lot to talk about. That's why I be wanting to get y'all in here just so we can just shoot the breeze. And maybe as we continue to grow, continue to keep doing these things, we'll get some more people to kind of chime in or whatever with us. Like I said, I got the voice chat open in the Discord for anybody want to come through. But we're gonna end this episode or this stream. Yeah, we got a good hour in. Again, I appreciate everybody coming by. I'm gonna take my time, chop this up, and we're gonna post a full video with that first half. We're gonna post that all together so y'all can see our reactions in real time. But yeah, we watched the PlayStation showcase. We read the Deathloop reviews. Yeah, the bogus LiteCoin Walmart merger and the VMAs. That was a few good topics, even though we didn't go in much on that whole stuff. I want to ask, like, do y'all still think the VMAs is important? Like, I didn't really talk about them, but I don't think they important anymore. Because, like, the VMAs, MTV don't even show videos no more. So why we even care about their award shows and stuff? All of this shit is just promotion. All of it is promotion. All of it is... Let's go to must-see moments of E-News. Shout out to E-News.
The 2021 MTV Music Video Awards are finally here, and it did not disappoint.
Let's talk
From
about it.
show-stopping performances to incredible acceptance speeches, this star-studded night was one for the books. And in case you missed the show, here are some of the must-see moments from the night.
Speaking
Kicking
of
off our list
10
is,
out of
of course,
10s,
the
quote
host of
unquote,
the night, Doja
you know they
Cat,
finna hype
also
this shit up.
performed during the show, by the way. Tonight was the singer's first time hosting the show, and she killed it.
Oh, she
this
hosted.
year's show included performances from Normani, Ed Sheeran, Justin Bieber, Casey Musgraves, Lil Nas X, and Machine Gun Kelly, just to name a few. But we could not get over Olivia Rodrigo's incredible performance of her hit song, Good For You. Not to mention, Chloe of Chloe and Halle also hit the stage to perform her first
All
single,
right
Have
now.
Mercy, as a soloist, and it was everything we didn't know we needed.
Yes, goodness. Lord have mercy.
While the performances were the highlight of the night, the Foo Fighters made their grand
Can I just
return to
say,
the VMA
I'm not
stage
really
for
a
the
fan of that
first
song,
time since
the song
2007.
itself.
On top of performing at
but-
the show, the legendary band received the first ever MTV VMAs Global Icon Award. And of
Oh,
course,
yeah?
how could we forget these other epic moments during the VMAs? Needless to say, the 2021 VMAs will definitely
So she
be
was going
remembered
crazy
for
in the
many
crowd.
years to come.
So she
Thanks
was
for
going
watching
nuts in the
E! News.
crowd.
Have thoughts on the story? Sound off in the...
Well, hey man. I mean, hey, you know, everybody likes ass, man. Everybody likes, everybody loves, the aesthetic of black women. So it doesn't surprise me at all. It doesn't surprise me at all. But that song is really not that good to me. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? It sounds kind of cookie cutter, whatever. But hey, it's gonna blow up. I know it's gonna blow up. So who cares about my opinion? Who cares about my opinion? As long as the girl's shaking ass to it, that's all that matters, man. That's all that matters in the world to anybody. Yeah. So that wasn't really no big deal. That was the VMAs. I don't really know what they do. I don't know why they still give out awards. They don't play any music. All they do is show ridiculousness over and over. In Real World, or whatever they play now, they don't even play Real World no more, do they? I don't fucking know. I don't know. All I see is ridiculousness every time I go by there in an old movie. MTV done fell off so much. That's another thing we need to talk about. How the staples of our youth, as far as music channels, aren't even music channels anymore. Like they're full on media networks now, and they have bad comedy shows. They have these. BET could. I ain't gonna say they should because I don't know what they could. But you would think BET would be like the sports center of black colleges, of HBCU football. You would think like every Saturday, Sunday, whatever, Saturdays particularly, they'll have announcers, they'll have the whole college game day type experience set up, and it just be HBCUs by now. Since they're a network or whatever, you would think that's what they would be doing, but for some reason, they act like college football just don't exist until it's tied to a reality show of some sort. And that is weird to me. Does VH1 even show videos anymore? They used to do pop-up videos. I don't know what's going on with the music channels now. They just refuse to be music channels anymore. And I don't quite understand it. Let me hold on. Yeah, okay, good. We got these videos saved. So what I'll do, I'll just take these, download them, and I'll chop them up into one video. But anyway, VH1, MTV, BET don't show any, or they barely show. I ain't gonna say any, but they barely show any music, and that's nuts to me. That's completely nuts to me. Like, I don't understand why they don't even show just regular all this music out, and we got to rely straight on YouTube. You remember BET used to play the video, show the director of the video, the album it was gonna be on, and all of that. Like, that was promotion. That was helping getting the artists out there, and it was probably putting you on to some lesser known people. They do none of that now. They do none of that. If it wasn't for social media, we would never hear about the people that we probably listen to now. That Vince Staples album is really good to me. He's got 2 videos out for it, but there's no outlet that plays it that I see. Maybe MTV2 or, one of them other MTV auxiliary channels. But just for standard cable network channels, you don't see none of no music. VH1 don't do music documentaries anymore. Remember pop-up video, behind the music and all of that stuff. We could have behind the musics about Mac Miller, or something like that. Like, they don't do none of that no more. And I don't know. I know it's a corporate thing. I know it's a business problem. I know that's got plenty to do with it. But I would like for that to. I don't see why they exist. Why even pay for cable? Why even watch them? Like I say, what's the point? If they're gonna have award shows, what are they awarding people with? You don't even play my music, so how you gonna award me? You just looking at Billboard top 10 or top 25 and just going off of that, and that's stupid. Like, it's a lot of music out there. Like, it's not just the top 20. It's not just the top 25. So you really about the culture of music, then you need to open the doors up a little bit more than just Billboard and what's on the charts. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's just my 2 cents, man. What do I know? What do I know, man? I don't know, man. I'm finna let y'all go for this good old Saturday, good old Monday, man. We'll probably be back on in a couple more hours. Probably play a little something for the afternoon. I don't know what I'm gonna play yet. Might be something on the PlayStation. But anyway, again, man, I appreciate y'all coming by. YouTube, Facebook, D Live, wherever you checking in at. You know, y'all be on the lookout for the complete video for this. The whole video, like I said, my internet crapped out on me in the middle of the stream. I mean, nothing I could do about that. So y'all check in with us. Y'all join the Discord, man. Shoot me some clients if you got it. Shoot me some emails. Just, you know, give me some comments. Let us know what y'all think about the format of this new segment, man. We're gonna try to do it. I'm gonna take that out of my vocabulary. We're not gonna try to do it. We're going to do it. If I miss it, y'all don't hold it against me. It's coming a little later, but we are going to do this. We're gonna make this part of the norm as far as our format and content that we're making. We're gonna call it High Noon, and that get me out to bed early Monday morning. My mom said, she was like, you know, you up kind of early, and I was like, yeah. You know, like I went to bed last night after cutting them yards, man. I was tapped, man. So I had to go to bed. I went to bed like 11, 12 o'clock last night. So that's early for me. I'm a 2, 3 o'clock morning person. So I'm up now on Mondays. I'm trying to get up Monday. No, try. I'm getting up on Mondays. I'm getting up on Mondays, and we're gonna go to work again. We're gonna start working on graphic. We're gonna have graphic design. Maybe I'll make a beat or finish a song. You know, just little segments that we're gonna start adding to it. Whatever I start feeling comfortable with and can get to run flawlessly as far as my setup. Yeah, we'll start introducing new things to it. But this segment, I wanted to get this out the way. Get this going, because if I just start doing it, then I'll be a little more consistent. And it's going to be more just talking about reviews. We're going to add game reviews. You know, you hear my spend a weekend with a game or whatever, and we're going to talk about it on that Monday or the following week. So yeah, man, you know, y'all check in with us, man. We got new things coming. We're going to have new music. You're gonna have new music. You know, I know, you know, a couple guys I playing on here, you know, that I work with. But we're working on some new music, so we're gonna introduce that to y'all slowly but surely. So yeah, man, y'all be on the lookout for some new things coming this way, man. So anyway, till next time, I want y'all to read my stay fluid thought for the day, man. And then we're gonna get up out of here. I posted it on Facebook if y'all follow me. You know, but the thought for the day, go Ravens. My boys play tonight. Man. Oh yeah, let's talk about that too. I forgot about the NFL started, man. Jesus, y'all let me forget. The NFL started yesterday, man. And while my pessimistic mind is worried about COVID, it's like, man, ain't none of them people in the stadiums got masks on. You know what I'm saying? Because COVID is in the building, like Fat Joe say, it was in the building. So I was watching football yesterday, and I was just like, man, we don't give a shit. Okay, everything we talk about going back to normal, and then people say, oh, there's not gonna be a normal. I don't really know what side of the fence I stand on, because again, football just it went off without a hitch. College football went off without a hitch. You know, stadiums are full of people. The team don't have no mask on. You know, I don't know what to believe at this point. I just don't. So I just have to enjoy it for what it is. I like football. I'm a UGA fan. I'm a Ravens fan. So I want to see them. I want to see them play, and I want to see them do good. But I'm worried about their health, because COVID is in the building. COVID is not going anywhere. No, it's not going anywhere. But apparently we don't give a shit. Apparently we don't give a shit. So I'm just gonna enjoy football. So just like everybody else. So I see everybody what's going on. I seen them them Saints cutting up too, man. I seen them Saints cutting up too. Them boys were doing their thing yesterday. I root for the Saints because I don't like the Falcons. I already know what the Falcons gonna do. I'm from Georgia. I don't really care about the Falcons because of the whole Vic thing. I don't care what the Falcons ever do. I don't care about the Falcons because of Michael Vick. I don't like. I gotta respect Tampa Bay because they just won. I don't like Tampa Bay because old squarehead ass Tom Brady, and Carolina, they just there. You know, they just kind of there to fill out that 4th spot. I don't really care about them either. I just like they got some cool jerseys. That's pretty much all I can say. They got some nice looking jerseys. I like the colors and all that, but they not that good. I don't like them because they let Cam Newton go. But anyway, the Saints were doing their thing yesterday, so shout out to them. They did their thing. The Rams won yesterday. That was a good game. But yeah, I mean, hey, everything's back in full force. You know, holler at me if your team won, even if they lost, man. Rip your team, shout them out. We can talk about them in Sports Center, in the Discord. I post the scores and everything. My fantasy league. So I got invited to a fantasy league. And I haven't even logged into it. I don't even know who I drafted. I don't know none of that. Okay, so I probably got like the worst of the worst of who was available. And that's fine because I didn't even think about that shit. You know, I think they were supposed to have like a draft party or something, and I don't even think I answered the phone. Like I was busy doing something else. I might have been with my girl or something like that. Like, so I don't know who I have on my team. I'm gonna have to check it today, and I'm probably gonna be really disappointed because I probably just got any old body. I just got anybody, and we're gonna still win some games with any old body because I just have to move people to certain positions. So my fantasy league is probably garbage right now. Whoever I played the first week, they got an easy win. So shout out to whoever. Shout out whoever's in our fantasy league. But yeah, man, that's really all I got to talk about today, man. I ain't really got a whole lot. We watched our game reviews. We watched our showcase. Like I said, I'm hyped for a handful of games out of that. Most of the games I'm hyped for don't come out until year after next. So I'm really not that hyped. I'm really not that hyped. I'm hyped for Battlefield. I'm hyped for Deathloop now. And that All-Star, the Nickelodeon All-Star. I'm kind of hyped for that. So we'll check into those. But other than that, man, y'all look at me. I'll see y'all February as far as like things that I'm just super excited about. I think I'll just take the time between now and February just to kind of get in my backlog, do some of these reviews from Project Backlog, just do my Project Backlog reviews, you know, and that's it, you know. Stream some more Apex and Battlefield, and that's all y'all get. That's what we're gonna work on as far as that's concerned. But yeah. You know, that's our first episode, man. You know, we're going to make that. We're going to cut it here. I wish we could play some music for y'all without getting copyright strikes, but I'm scared, man. I don't really know what to do. So we just going to have to end it on a real easy note. Listen, y'all have a good day. Y'all have a good day, man. Y'all please hydrate accordingly, and no whole shit should prosper against us. Please stay fluid at all times. I'll check y'all in the Discord. I see y'all on Twitch. I see y'all on DLive, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Yeah. I'll check y'all later, man. Appreciate y'all coming by. Everybody, thank y'all so much for keeping this channel going. Again, y'all subscribe to us. Y'all follow me on IG. I'm going to put my socials in the chat so y'all can get some of those. Get some of that there. Hold on. There we go. Y'all follow me, man, on YouTube at Hushmouth Media. Instagram at Chauvinistic. That's also my Facebook gaming and my DLive. Y'all check in with me, man. Tap into chauvin.net. That's my website. We'll have some more music coming soon. If y'all want to donate to Honey Hand Slaps, my latest project. I can say my latest project. Y'all come in, tap in, donate, get a free copy. Even if you don't donate, just download the free copy. And yeah, man. Again, man, appreciate y'all, man. Check y'all later. Y'all be easy. And again, stay fluid. Y'all enjoy your Monday. Peace.